What's going on? My name is Stephen Haley, founder and CEO of SC Marketing Solutions. I want to welcome you to this video presentation and let you know that I am super excited for you. This is going to be a high value, high impact training, and I'll be going over specifically with you the personal training / personal fitness niche and how to get new clients. Sound good? All right. So the name of this presentation is called Hyper Targeted Online Billboard Ads to Dominate Your Personal Training Market, using perfect ads to get the best leads at the lowest cost possible. All right, so you're here essentially because you're looking to get more clients. You also want the sustainability, maybe hire some more trainers, streamline your leads and customer acquisition. You're looking for highly interested clients who are not only looking but needing your services. You want to be able to run your business without the stress of uncertainty and really dominate in your market and operate your business outside of scarcity. So I want to talk to you and give you some good training on how you're able to do that using these very specific types of billboard advertising online. So let's dive in. So what we're going to cover here is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about preventing burnout and blowing out your budget with Google or SEO or Facebook or anything that you might have tried in the past. Obviously, there's a lot of different people out here and a lot of different marketers that are pushing all kinds of programs, and it can be very frustrating to know who to go with, what exactly to get new clients, and how to get new clients, and things of that nature. But what I'm going to do is show you a very detailed process, and this very specific process that we've made for the personal training market specifically. So I'm going to show you how we generate highly relevant clicks and pay less than most of the market does for those clicks. I'm going to show you how we guarantee the highest quality leads possible in your market and how you can have this launch with literally zero risk. No risk whatsoever. So the first thing is billboards. So billboard ads work, but at a cost. So I'm sure you've seen them driving on the side of the road. They're usually very eye-catching, maybe kind of funny, like this one. It says licensed plumber on duty, which is eye-catching. But the issue is billboard ads, along with TV and radio ads, really dominated the advertising space when, I would say back in the early 2000s. So the problem with these billboard ads now is that there is high traffic but low relevance. So what do I mean by that? Well, what that means is there's thousands and thousands of people commuting every single day, and they're seeing these billboards, but there's low relevance because no one pays attention to billboards anymore. They're outdated. When was the last time you drove by a billboard of a service you actually could have used and pulled out your phone and reached out to the service on the billboard? For most people, that percentage is pretty low, if at all. See, the thing is, billboard, TV, and radio ads really only dominated until the early 2000s when the internet exploded and online advertising became a thing. So now there's a way to target a whole audience of people in a very specific location and make the digital billboard ad that you're putting in front of them super relevant. Now, I'm not talking about billboards on the side of the road. I'm talking about digital billboards. The more targeted you can get, the more relevant it is, and you're able to actually capture everyone in this local community. Then we can use behavioral data, and the more that we have on a person, the more relevant the ad becomes. And yes, you will be looking at this, or the consumer will be looking at this from their phone, their desktop, or their tablet. So these digital billboards are essentially highway billboards, the ones you see on the side of the road, but we set them up online as a digital billboard. Now that you have some of the basics on what we do, here are the two different platforms we use. So the first one being Facebook and the second one being Google. The first one I'm going to talk about briefly is Facebook ads. And with Facebook ads, we use behavioral data. So behavioral data is exactly what people are doing online, what pages they're visiting, shops they're going to, different situations going on in their life. And Facebook tracks all of these different types of data. And for anything regarding personal training or fitness, we would want to target people that are interested in working out with a personal trainer or looking to get more fit. For example, let's talk about the cool sculpting niche, for example. If we look at women between the ages of 26 and 60, we have found that they are the most likely people to convert from an ad like this that you see on the screen. So we would show them an ad, looks something like this, says special offer, $500 off, 50% off, first visit, whatever is comfortable for you and your business, whatever makes sense for you. And this is basically one of the best ways to get them in the door, get them buying more services, scheduling more workout sessions, etc. So just dragged over this example here from Facebook that I just pulled up. So with the Facebook platform, we're able to target, like I said earlier, a specific location, a very specific group of people. So let's look at what I did here. I did women ages 26 to 60 in Los Angeles. I did a 15-mile radius around Los Angeles. And then all I did was type in fitness and wellness and healthy diet. That gave me a total of 2 million to 2.4 million people, women specifically between the ages of 26 and 60, that are looking for a personal trainer or fitness or a healthy diet lifestyle. So you can see how powerful this would be. These are very specific people looking for this service. Then, using their behavioral data, we target them, show them an ad like this. So here's an example of a personal training ad that we've done. So we would send them this. Then they would click on this, for example, fill out their information, activate free session, and then we, or you as the business, would contact them once they filled out that they are interested. Alright, so now we got the idea of Facebook. Let's jump over and start talking a little bit about Google Ads. And with Google Ads, I will spend a little bit more time with it just because they're in such high demand. With Google, you can get actually super motivated keyword searches when you're targeting people on Google. For example, I typed in, if I'll show you here, let me pull it up. There we go. So when I typed in plumber, say we want a plumber in Queens or Brooklyn or the Bronx or Staten Island. Now it goes a little deeper. So if I search plumber in Brooklyn, you can actually see it goes to best plumber in Brooklyn, top plumber in Brooklyn, emergency plumber in Brooklyn. And so with Google specifically, these are the types of words and keyword searches you want to use. They're called long tail keyword searches. So these are the best types you can use to find the best, get the best results for the lowest possible cost. So you have to bid on Google, and you bid for these words or phrases, in the highest bidder or the lowest bidder, depending on what words you're searching for or phrases you're searching for, help the competition separate themselves. So that's a little bit of how Google Ads work. And if you notice here, just show some benefits of targeting long tail keywords. So this slide here demonstrates exactly that. So for example, let's talk about bicycles, and we'll use the same strategy we've been talking about. So if you just search the word bicycle, which is right here, you see the cost to compete super high and the probability of conversion is really low. Well, that's because most people will just search bicycle. But now, as soon as you go to a specific type of bike, let's say a beach cruiser where there's 2 words, you can see that your cost to bid for that keyword drops to almost half. You get twice the volume. So now when you look at a long-tailed keyword like a black 10-speed bicycle beach cruiser, now your cost per click is super low. So it's super low, and you're getting high volume. So if you're bidding for keywords that are this long and using this strategy, that's when you're going to have a very high conversion rate at the lowest cost possible. And that's what we are able to achieve over and over again for you and your business. So I want to show you an example. So I pulled this up. This is an example of looking at Google's keywords planner. So I went on to Google, went to their keyword planner, and I typed in the personal trainer keyword, as you can see here. And I did it in Los Angeles. So there's 668 total possibilities that we could use for your business. And here's the cost per click. And they go lower as they cost less as you have different word combinations. So looks like this one and this one look like they're the most expensive right now. This one looks like there's low competition, but you can see that there's, in 1 month, 1,000 to 10,000 people typing just personal trainer into Google. And then there's 1,000 to 10,000 typing in trainer to Google, just in Los Angeles alone. Then gym trainer, there's 100 to 1,000 people in Los Angeles. Fitness trainer, 100 to 1,000 people, and it goes on. Alright, so that was just a quick example of how to use keywords and what possible options you have when searching for a personal trainer, for example. It would vary depending on the city that we're working in. So now let's jump over to how Google ranks you on their search pages. So here's an example of personal trainer Los Angeles. Here's an ad, another ad, and the one at the top has all these different factors that go into them being at the top, and I'm about to go over that here in a moment. So no matter where you fall on this page, there is a reason and method to getting near the top or at the top. And this is determined by the ad rank system. When your ad ranks, it equals the maximum cost per click multiplied by the quality score. What makes up the quality score? Well, that's the keywords you're targeting. Whether it's the ad you're showing them, the landing page the customer is sent to, how relevant the ad is compared to what the customer was searching for, and finally, the overall user's experience throughout this entire process. So for example, did they find what they were looking for? Did you send them to the correct landing page that matches what they searched for? And did they have a good experience? All of these aspects are what contribute to your business's quality score. So obviously you want to have a high quality score, and you want the lowest maximum cost per click at all times, and that will determine your ad rank on Google. So now if we go over to this slide, here's some interesting information. So the Google chief economist, Dr. Hal Varian, said that 60% of Google quality score is determined by your CTR, which is your click-through rate. So for every 100 people, how many people are clicking on the ad? One person clicks on the ad out of 100 that see it. That's a 1% click-through rate. So 60% of the entire quality score is determined by this click-through rate. So now let's go over to some common practices that most marketers and most advertisers do when it comes to Google advertisements. So the majority of advertisers get a lot of irrelevant clicks. And that's because they get something called fraudulent clicks, which causes them to get a low quality score. And it's simply because they are grouping all of their terms and keywords together. So if you think back to the Google slide we looked at with all the keywords, there was about 668 keywords in that list. Well, most advertisers will take this entire list and make one single campaign ad with it. And what happens is people are searching for all different kinds of things in this campaign, which causes them to get fraudulent clicks, bringing down their quality score. What you want to have is a specific ad for that specific type of keyword. Well, what does that get you? It gets you the best relevancy for the lowest cost per click. And I call that the one-to-one method. It's what 1% of people and marketers do. It's why we have one campaign, and then you have two separate ad groups with an ad and a keyword that match each ad specifically. The ad, for example, auto detailing near me, and the keyword be auto detailing near me, and guess what the ad says? Auto detailing near me, Los Angeles, or whatever city it's in. That's what you want to have. That's what 99% of advertisers are not doing, and it's a major part in why they aren't successful with online advertising, especially in the Google space, because they're grouping their keywords together and it's not making sense to the person that's clicking on the ads. So I hope this is making sense, and right now you're feeling a little like, wow, that's incredible, and you should. This should be very exciting for you. We've already figured out this for the fitness trainer, personal fitness market, and we know very well about the exact targeting and landing pages needed to be successful in Facebook and the exact keywords needed to be successful in the campaigns for Google. So what we want to do is we want for you and your business to achieve the goals and the desires to go beyond and crush the market around you. So what we offer is guaranteed results. So I want to guarantee you at no risk 100 leads. So if we do business together, I want to give you 100 leads and guarantee you 100 of these high quality leads no matter what. This is my guarantee to you. And then what you get is 100 leads using the landing page that we give you that we have proven converts these clicks into actual customers for you and your business. On top of that, you're going to get the perfect ad setup you're going to get the perfect landing page setup, which is valued at $29.97. You're going to get perfect ad setups with 100 ad groups. You're going to get staff onboarding training. You're going to get campaign monitoring, click optimization, lead reporting. All this is around $9,600 a month. You would only pay $1,500 for the 100 leads. So if you say, okay, Steven, I'm going to get 100 leads, what does that mean? How many clients am I going to get? Cool. Well, we've made this process so streamlined that it's dummy proof for you to be able to convert more clients. We want to add so much value into this package that it becomes a no-brainer. It's already a no-brainer because of the systems and processes we've developed and proven in the Google and Facebook platforms. But this right here, the sales process, is the number one thing that you can control to convert more leads. So, for example, there are essentially 4 indicators for performance when a client like yourself is going to schedule more appointments. There's the number of leads you get, what the schedule rate is, what the show rate of people is that are on that schedule appointment, and what the closing rate is. And these are the people that are actually showing up and turning into a paying customer. If you look here, if we send you 100 leads, the average person, after all that's said and done, should be able to convert 30 to 40 leads using this sales process. If you're a below average client that's not very good at sales, we can help you with that. But out of that 100 leads, you can actually convert about 4 to 5 customers. And the best clients who are good at sales, have experience, and just need some help with advertising, they have an average closing ability, which is around 45 leads or more. Some key things you need in order to be able to close as many leads as possible is you need to call, email, and text leads within 5 minutes. You need to keep spreadsheets in up-to-date real time. You need to answer all incoming calls correctly, immediately, and have a designated person handling the leads. There needs to be one person. You need a follow-up script for every call. You need to be sending follow-up emails and texts with every single lead, and you need to know and follow the process to the T. So in order to achieve this right here, you need to be able to follow this process. From when you're receiving the lead, you're calling, emailing, and texting. You're also calling again the same day within 24 hours. You're calling, emailing, texting again in 48 hours, 2 weeks later, yes, even 30 days later and beyond. You have to have a follow-up sequence for your leads. Not saying that you will need this for every single one, but there needs to be something in place for the ones that do need it. These will all be highly motivated people who are looking for a capable personal trainer in their area. But you must have a follow-up system in place for as the fortune is in the follow-up. After they sign up, you have to have a system in place to book on your calendar. Call and email them with a reminder of their appointment 24 hours before and on the day of their appointment. The lead is looking for your services. They're looking to get in shape, looking for guidance, looking to restore their body. Will be that solution. Make it personal. Be invested into the results. These are the key pieces that make up the foundation to be able to scale and prosper in your personal training industry. At the end of the day, a lead is a lead. And if you don't have a sales process in place, if you don't know the system and how to convert, then it will just be a lead and it won't convert. But that is our job. That's the extra value and onboarding training that we're going to give you and your team to assure you and your business on closing more leads. So let's look at an example of a conversion chart just to grasp some numbers. So this is an example of a below average perspective. So if you get 100 leads, and out of those 100 leads you get 15 converting clients, and we'll say that each client in this personal training niche is about $200 to $400 a month per client. So on the low end, you're getting a total revenue of about $3,000. On the high end, you're getting around $6,000. And this is on a below average customer basis conversion rate. So this is already 100% return on your investment. Where did I get 100% return on investment? Well, as I showed you earlier, what you get is you get all this in this package. And the total for you today would be $1,500, and that would include all of this below as well. So to kind of wrap things up, I set this video up in a way to educate you on our processes and our systems so that we're actually transparent on what's going on, what you're getting, and what it's all about. Now I actually want to offer you something, and you're not buying anything today. You don't have to worry about purchasing anything. I'm not going to ask you about your credit card or anything like that, but if you are a personal trainer that wants to increase your utilization, you want more customers, you want to grow your business, and you want more steady, consistent customers for your business, I want to invite you to a phone call, okay? And on this phone call, we're going to have a conversation about how we can implement this system for you. This is not a sales call. It's essentially a call I do to be able to best answer your personal questions that you have about our system, and if it makes sense, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense for you, it doesn't make sense for us. We were able to get at least some value, hopefully, from this video, and I hope we get to meet each other, and if not, we can go our separate ways. But if you're 100% ready and committed, and you want to potentially move forward with us, we'd love to have a conversation with you, because we're on a mission to bring more customers into their local markets and bring businesses out of scarcity. So again, below this video, there's a button where you can schedule a meeting with me, pick a time and a date, and we'll just have a conversation. We're pretty busy with consultations. We're doing roughly 20 appointments a day, so time slots are limited. I would love to have a conversation with you. Hit the button below, schedule a time, and I hope to be speaking with you soon.